I'm immensely proud and honoured and delighted that this piece of all of my recent pieces is coming back home to Glasgow with this orchestra and with this conductor. Donald Runnicles has performed many of my works in the States and elsewhere, and he's an incredibly insightful interpreter of my music. I feel really good to have my music performed by him. He seems to see something in it that I can't see, and it's great when that happens. It's an interesting question that artists, when they decide to tackle one of the passions, they've got to make the decision, which one do you go for? And there are four different characters to the four gospel accounts: Matthew, John, Luke, Mark, and they all have different characters and perspectives. I think with the St. John Passion, it's written by someone who I think knew the characters involved. The writer even appears in the story at the foot of the cross. So it's a very direct and personal account of the events of Christ's death. My take on the St. John Passion is a hybrid of various forms and types. Obviously the Bach model is there as an oratorio. However, there are other elements there in the background. Most audibly, I think, the influence of liturgy, differently from Bach, who uses a soloist as the narrator's voice. I use a choir, so there is a narrator's choir who sings the words of John. The words of Christ are sung by a baritone, and the words of everyone else, and that involves not just the crowds, but people like Peter and Pontius Pilate, various other characters involved in the story, are sung by this other choir, this larger choir, the large chorus. So there is an element of opera, I think. I write a lot of choral music, and there are different levels and standards of choir throughout the world, of course, but this commission originally came from the London Symphony Orchestra. They gave the first performance, and in fact, their chorus will be involved in this performance here in Glasgow in September. So I had that choir very much in mind. It's also a great thing for me that this orchestra is going to be involved in the performance of it, considering that this orchestra, the BBC Scottish Symphony Orchestra, has been such an important orchestra to me over the last 20 years and has been involved in the performance of many of my, I would say, most important works, including right back at the beginning, the premiere of The Confession of Isabel Gaudy. And so I feel very close to this orchestra, and there are people in the orchestra that I've known since those early days, and so it's going to be marvellous to be able to see this collaboration come to fruit here in Glasgow.